361 billion. That's how many emails are sent each and every day. Now, there are many myths, misconceptions, and mistakes that could be holding you back from email marketing success. So let's dive in. Why do you need to bother about making mistakes with your emails? Well, first of all, if you have mistakes, they can lead to decreased open rates and click-through rates. That's going to drastically reduce your effectiveness and reduce your return on investment. And given that email marketing is still one of the top performing marketing strategies, where for every dollar you spend, you're likely to get a $42 return. That's astounding. If you're making frequent mistakes in your emails, then your reputation is going to be damaged. That can lead to losing trust among your subscribers, and that means people are going to exit from your list. Not only that, if you have repeated errors with your emails, it can result in legal issues such as non-compliance with the GDPR regulations and the CAN spam regulations. And we all know that Google, Bing, Yahoo, Outlook have really tightened up their rules around spam and junk. If you consistently send emails with errors, you're likely to end up in that email graveyard of the Google Promotions tab, or worse, the junk folder. So let's have a look at what some of these myths and misconceptions are and see what we can do to debunk them. Now, some of the common myths around email marketing. Email's dead. Have you heard that? I know I've seen it a ton of times recently on social media. It is total and utter rubbish. Despite the rise of social media, maybe because of it, because people are struggling to get traction with social media, email still remains one of the most effective marketing channels. Another common myth is that sending more emails is going to be more success. You just bombard your subscribers with emails, don't you? No. If you send too many emails, you're going to get unsubscribes and decreased engagement. What I would suggest is far more important than the volume of emails that you send is the quality. Is the content that you're sending readable? Do people value it? Is it interesting? Because if it doesn't check those boxes, doesn't matter how many emails you send, you're likely to get unsubscribes. Another common myth is that unsubscribes themselves are bad. Well, if you wake up and you log into your email system and you see that 3 people unsubscribed yesterday, it's not going to feel very nice, is it? Hey, however, I would encourage you, flip it on its head. When people unsubscribe, they were never going to buy from you anyway. They were never going to become a client. So think of unsubscribes as a refining of your audience so that the people that you are emailing are those that are truly interested in you and what you have to say. Email marketing is only for sales. Oh my gosh, if you only send promotional, salesy emails, I've got this latest offer, buy this latest offer, take a look at this, your email engagement is going to plummet. Emails are one of the most powerful tools for building relationships, probably second only to actually having a verbal conversation with somebody. You can use emails to educate, entertain, and provide value. Unless you do that magic combination, entertaining, educating, and providing value, people are not going to want to read your emails. Here's another funny myth. Short subject lines are always better. Are they? Yes, it's true that when you're on a mobile phone, there is only a certain amount of space that you have for your subject line. However, If your subject line is captivating enough, is compelling enough, people will want to click on it to view your email. And that's the job, the goal of a subject line, isn't it? So even if you have a slightly longer subject line, if it is structured in the right way and it is compelling and interesting enough, people will still click. People will scroll along to read the rest of your subject line. It's more important to be clear and relevant in your subject line, making sure that your subject line is relevant to the content of the email. You want to pique a little bit of curiosity, but you don't want to overplay that one. What about this myth? Images don't matter. It's interesting, isn't it? Now, visual content, having your picture, having some images in your emails, can increase engagement. However, you don't want to overplay it, and I would strongly discourage having those banners, those newsletter banners that are the very first thing that somebody sees when they open an email. May be interesting the first time they see it, but if they are on your list and they're consistently opening your emails, and every time they have to scroll down past your banner, it can cause disengagement and lead to unsubscribes. And people, if they unsubscribe, you're potentially losing clients, potential clients. So it's really important to balance having images in your emails with text. Having images in your emails can increase the time it takes to load an email, which reduces accessibility, particularly if somebody's on a mobile phone in an area where network connection may be slow. It's going to potentially cause a problem. So yes, to use images, use them sparingly. And again, if you have your picture front and center at the start of an email, it says that the email's all about you. If you're going to use images, why not be creative? Put it as a part of your signature. That way, it's there, people get to see you, they can connect with you, but you're not in their face when they first open the email. Another common myth is that one size fits all. Sending those generic emails, or even worse, those AI-generated robotic emails that use the same phrases over and over, that's going to be way less effective than having emails that are tailored to where your reader is in their client journey. Use personalization and segmentation to achieve this. Another misconception is that open rates are the only metric that matter. Yes, it's important to know if people are opening your emails. If they're not opening your emails, they can't read your content. If they can't read your content, they don't know how fabulous you are. As well as open rates, you need to be thinking about the click-through rates. What engagement are your emails getting? Are people replying to them? And most importantly, are people actually enrolling in your programs or buying your service, buying your product from your emails? If those stats, if you're not monitoring those, you don't know what to work on. You don't know what to focus on. So you need to have a focus on open rates, click-through rates, engagement rates to get a full picture for your success. Now, there are some common mistakes that I see time and time again with emails. The very first one that I strongly encourage you to avoid at all costs is boredom. People think they need to write a ton of information and have it factually based, all information. Oh my gosh. Boring. You want your emails to entertain. I call it edutainment. Yes, some education, but you want to be entertaining, and you can use story to do that. Emails, another common mistake is those generic emails that we've just mentioned. You need to address the recipient by name, first and foremost, the simplest form of personalization, and make sure that your content is tailored to their individual needs. Otherwise, they're going to disengage. This is one of my favorite mistakes, fluff. Are you starting your emails with fluff? Compare this. Have an opening line of 15%. Compare that to, well, I hope this email finds you well today and you're having a wonderful day filled with positivity and sunshine. Which opening line makes you think, oh, I want to find out more? The first one, 15%, or the second one, I hope this email, blah-de-blah. For me, it's the first one. Your opening line needs to captivate, to draw your reader in, to make them want to read the next line. Overloading your emails with information. If you give too much information, or you have an email that is nothing more than call to action after call to action, it can overwhelm your reader and they're going to stop reading. Having an inconsistent sending schedule is another common mistake. Heck, I did this in the early days when I started, so learn from my mistakes. If you're sending your emails sporadically, or even if you're sending them too frequently, it can frustrate your subscribers and they're going to exit. Having a weak subject line that's vague or uninteresting, you're going to get low open rates. So make that subject line compelling and captivating and intriguing enough that they want to find out more and open your email to do so. Now, here's a common mistake: not proofreading your emails. If you send an email that's got typos in it or grammatical errors, it can undermine your credibility. Now, don't get me wrong, we're all human. We all make mistakes occasionally. Oh my gosh, I know that. The occasional mistake is not the same as consistently sending emails with typos and errors. It's that consistent error that's going to cause people to lose faith in you, lose trust in you, and that's going to make them exit and they're not going to want to be a client. Equally onerous as a mistake is inconsistent messaging. If your emails, the message and the content that you're sending does not align with your brand or previous communications that you've sent, maybe you've run some campaigns on social media, maybe you've attracted leads through speaking. If the emails that you're sending are inconsistent with the messaging from those platforms, people are going to get confused and think, well, why am I getting this email? And then they will leave and miss all your valuable information. The next point is vital. How many people read their emails on their phones? Maybe people sit on the train while they're commuting and they scroll through their emails. When they're out with their families and they have a spare 5 minutes, they might scroll through their emails. So if you ignore mobile optimization and fail to make sure that your emails are going to display well on a small screen, then you're losing reader engagement. They're going to not read your email if they can't read it. So think about your font size. Think about the loading time for your emails. Segmentation we've already talked about. Make sure that you are only sending information to people that is relevant for the stage that they are at in their buying journey. Send information relevant to their interests and what they signed up for. For example, you could create a group of subscribers for people that have opened your emails within the last 2 or 3 months. They're engaged. You might want to send them different content and maybe more frequently. Huge mistake if you ignore storytelling. Stories are the lifeblood of business. Hey, it's far more interesting to hear about Michael, who forgot to send his emails. He thought he'd created an automated sequence and then was horrified to check his emails a couple of months later to find his email list had halved, and he realized the emails hadn't been sending because of an error in his email service provider. If you ignore telling stories, you risk missing opportunities, you risk connecting with your audience. You need to connect emotionally through relatable experiences. If you don't have a call to action, and if that call to action is not clear, then you're missing opportunities. Every single email needs to have a purpose. What do you want your reader to do as a result of reading your email? Make it very clear in your call to action. And I want to be clear here that a call to action doesn't just mean click here to buy something. A call to action could be as simple as reply to this email and let me know your thoughts. And the final biggest sin of all is to neglect to provide value. Edutainment, education and entertainment, that magic mix. If you focus only on selling your services and you're not offering valuable insights or tips, the trust levels are going to diminish, interest levels are going to diminish. I hope these tips have been helpful. You're going to want to check out this video next, which gives you a ton of different ways to add new subscribers to your email lists. I know you can do it. So why the hell not? Thanks for listening.